Meow! Hi everyone, Jamil here from AutoIndustriya.com, and what I have for you is the GWM Ora 03. Now, we had a walk around of this a few months ago when Vince reviewed the 400 and the 500 variant, but this is now the retail version that GWM Philippines wants to offer in the market. Now, there have been a few changes with the Ora 03 when it comes to the pricing, the specs, and we're gonna run them through in this review. The look itself is pretty much the same, and it's actually refreshing in a sea of crossovers and SUVs that we have nowadays that are usually designed with, aggressive lines, sharp angles, that sort of stuff. This one looks friendly. I mean, it has round headlights, it has, sort of curves instead of edges, and it actually has references to the Mini Cooper and the Porsche. And that's a fun fact. The GWM Ora 03 is actually designed by an ex-Porsche designer. Now, this particular example that I have right here is the long range, the 500 version of the Ora 03. What you get as standard are 18-inch wheels with low-profile tires, and you get this cool two-tone paint job that's only available on the long-range variant. The standard one only comes in a single tone. GWM also had an interesting take, designing the back end of the Ora 03. I mean, when you look at it, first thing you'll notice, where are the tail lights? I mean, the brake lights, they are right over here at the back of the rear windshield. Turn signals are right over here, and when you back up, this one lights up. Now, what else can we see? We have the proud Ora word spelled out right here, as well as the GWM badge on the right side. Below, you also have a rear fog light, and this is your third brake lamp. So once we pop this one open, this power tailgate is actually exclusive to the long-range variant. Now, this being a hatchback, don't expect much in terms of trunk space, but you can still fit items that are around 16 inches long, 38 inches wide, and about 30 inches tall at the back of the GWM Ora 03. Now, what you do get as standard, fire extinguisher, and when we pull this one up, it reveals some of the items that you would need for emergency purposes. Like, for example, you have the onboard charger of the GWM Ora 03. You also have a tire repair kit, a tire inflator, you have a first aid kit, and an early warning device here at the back. So no spare tire with the GWM Ora 03, much like any other hybrid or EVs that are currently on sale in the market. If you do need more cargo space, you can still fold this one down, and you can get an extra 53 inches of cargo space. You can also see there that it has an ISOFIX anchor for child seats. This is what you would see when you pop the hood of the GWM Ora 03. You won't find an ICE. This one has a single motor setup. It's front-wheel drive. You have a 12-volt battery here that powers the lights and also some of the interior functions inside. This one in the middle, you have the main drive system of the GWM Ora 03. This one right here produces 169 PS and 215 Newton meters of torque, which should be plenty for a 4.2-meter car like this. Over here, you can also see an electric type AC compressor to cool down the cabin. So what else can we find here in front? We have the charging lid for its charging port. We have a CCS Type 2, and it's capable of DC fast charging with this combined charging system. Now over here, we have a strut bar that adds to the rigidity of the chassis of the Ora 03. And what else can we find? We have the windshield washer right over there, the coolant for the batteries, as well as the reservoir for the brake fluid. Anyway, that's about it. Medyo mainit na. Let's head inside and see the interior of the GWM Ora 03. This is the interior of the GWM Ora 03, and what can I say? It feels like you're sitting on a well put together car because the materials are good. You have soft touch panels here, the door cards, nice combination of brown and beige, but I'm not really a fan of this because, it can be tedious to clean this one up. But The standard version comes with black leather on the seats and the dashboard itself. So what else can we see? In front of me is a 10.25-inch touchscreen. So this one displays, it's empty at the moment, but this one displays the cars in front of you whenever you're on the road. On the left side, you have the speedometer, you have the distance to empty of the battery. The right side, we cannot cycle for now because the door is open. But here, it displays the mileage, the power consumption, all that sort of stuff. Now here on the right side, we have the infotainment screen, and you can also control some of the vehicle functions here. You can adjust the ADAS, aircon. This one also comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, standard. So let's see, this is Apple CarPlay. Very nice display. Down below, we see references of the Mini Cooper. The steering wheel itself, the two-spoke, very much reminds me of the Mini Cooper, as well as these toggle switches that are nicely plated in chrome. Down below, you have two USB charging points and a 12-volt power outlet. You also have a little cubby here where you can place your phone, two cup holders. We have a rotary type gear selector, so you just have to press this button for park. But if you wanna go to reverse or you wanna go to drive, then you rotate this knob right here. Also comes with electronic parking brake and auto brake hold. So right over here, we have a wireless charging port where I can place my huge phone. Also have an armrest with a little cubby right over here. So this being the top of the line 500 variant, you also get this, a panoramic sunroof, and my favorite part, we have massage seats with ventilating function. So let's try that one out. Seat massage set to high. Oh yeah. This is what I need after a long day. There's not much stuff to play with here at the back of the GWM Ora 03, but you do have to appreciate the space. And also, you still get the cream and brown interior that I think Tita would appreciate. You know, like they would say, oh, look, Iho. It's like, it matches my bag with this quilted leather and the stitching on the seats. Anyway, you still have an armrest here with two cup holders. We have a single type A USB charging port, two backseat pockets, and ISOFIX anchors on either sides. So for 3 passengers, I think it would still be comfortable, even though it's a 4.2 meter long hatchback. It's pretty wide, so it can be occupied by 3 occupants here at the back. They also get 3-point ELR seat belts. But that's about it here at the back. Let's head back in front and I'll give you my driving impressions of the GWM Ora 03. Driving the GWM Ora 03 here in the city feels like driving my own Yaris, but it's fully electric. You see, because number 1, they're both hatchbacks, and number 2, they're about the same size. So whenever I go to my usual parking spaces, I can fit the GWM Ora 03 easily as I would with my Yaris. And when you're inside the GWM Ora 03, it really feels like you're sitting on a well-built vehicle. The materials are fantastic. The sound deadening is pretty good as well, so you don't hear a lot of the outside noises even though it's an EV. You get a bit of tire noise because of the low profile tires and a bit of a wind noise at high speeds with the side mirrors, but that's about it. So still pretty much livable on a daily basis. Build quality seems to be okay as well because this unit has already done about more than 9,000 kilometers of mileage already. And there's no rattles, there's no squeaking parts with the GWM Ora 03 inside. So that's pretty good going forward. The GWM Ora 03 has 169 PS and 250 Newton meters of torque. So you really feel that in an instant. You see, right now I'm on normal mode. But once I step on the throttle at 100%. Ooh, it wants to go. So that's one thing you really enjoy with the Ora 03. You have plenty of power at your disposal for a hatchback like this. I also like the fact that the GWM Ora 03 remains composed over bumps and other road imperfections, like here on EDSA. You really feel the weight is positioned down low, so it's really letting the suspension do its thing and the chassis doesn't get rattled. So you still feel very comfortable inside even though you're sitting at hatchback, which is normally pretty bouncy. I experienced it with my Yaris and some other hatchbacks that I've tested before. Now, it's not gonna be the softest riding. It leans over to the firm side, maybe because of the 18-inch wheels as well that have low profile tires, but it's not in any way uncomfortable. You can still live with it on a daily basis. Now, in terms of energy consumption, I've been driving the GWM Ora 03 around Metro Manila for a few days now, and I've been averaging around 6.6 kilometers per kilowatt hour. So this one has a 63 kilowatt hour battery. So if you multiply that by 6.6, then that's the mileage that you'd get on a single charge. So that's somewhere under 400 kilometers. So they advertise it as 500 using the CLTC, but with the WLTP, they have it rated at around 420. So I'm getting pretty close to those WLTP numbers. Unfortunately, the charging plug of the GWM Ora 03 was not compatible to the one I have in my apartment garage. I wasn't able to use the onboard charger of the GWM Ora 03. I had to go to the mall actually and use the 7 kilowatt charger there. But during that time, I was able to recharge the GWM Ora 03 at around 10% per hour. So really, you're gonna have to use almost the entire day to charge up the batteries of the GWM Ora 03. And that's not a bad thing if you like going to the malls, but if you really have to, put it on your schedule, and if you're on the go, then it might be a bit of a problem with regard to the charging. There's not much to complain about the driving manners of the GWM Ora 03, but it's not without areas for improvement. Like for example, the horn button, same thing I experienced with the Haval H6 and the Jolion. See, pressing it, nothing happens. It seems to have some kind of a spot here where it usually works well, like I just discovered recently over here on the right side. So there. So that's something you have to get used to, as well as the turning signals and the power window have that sort of soft touch function. So that's taking a bit of time getting used to. Sometimes you just want to roll the windows down and it goes all the way down instead of just a tiny little bit. And that, by the way, is the AEB. Those are the sensors around the vehicle. It tends to be pretty sensitive as well. So I still have a bit of room in front of me, but it's already turning on the alarms. So overall, the areas for improvement of the GWM Ora 03 are the ones that you could live with on a daily basis. But with regard to the EV charging and all of that stuff when switching to EVs, that's something that needs to be discussed, well, as well as the price. So with that, let's go back to the warehouse. I have thoroughly enjoyed driving the GWM Ora 03 during my time with this car. I mean, it's fun to drive, the suspension, the handling, the road manners, all very good for a car of this size. Really, the issues that I had were more of something you can live with on a daily basis and some that you couldn't, especially with the charging. So that begs the question, who is the GWM Ora 03 really for and who is it not for? Well, if you're the type of person who's like me, who lives in an apartment, who doesn't have an access to a plug in a garage, then you won't like the fact that you have to allot a day just to charge the GWM Ora 03 in a mall, or you have to still go out of the house. But if you have access to your own garage and you can install a wall box charger, then you'd be better off enjoying the benefits of what the GWM Ora 03 has to offer for just under 1.8 million pesos. Now, in terms of value, I think the standard version has an edge over this top-of-the-line model since that one costs just a little under 1.3 million pesos and you don't get shortchanged that much in terms of the features. Sure, you lose the sunroof, the power tailgates, all that sort of stuff, but in terms of the driving manners, it's still there, as well as the black interior that's easier to maintain. But what do you think of the GWM Ora 03? Let us know what you think in the comment section down below. This is Jamil of AutoIndustriya.com. Thank you for watching.